Hello, how is everyone doing today? So, I have me and my special guest that I'm going to be adding. I think I gotta, I think you have to request. Oh, here we go. I can invite you to come in.
Girl,
I can hear you now.
why is it when I got on, I'm like, damn, now I can't hear her. And so then I was like, let me turn the volume up so then I could hear you. So I'm like, okay, that's good. Thank you, Jesus, that we finally on here.
An
It took
hour
us
and
a bit of
37 minutes. Hour and
technical
37 minutes
difficulty.
we've been trying to get on here. Not on
Can't stop,
here, but
won't
trying
stop.
to do this. Listen,
hmm
I
It
don't
took
know what we're
y'all
about to
that
talk
long to get
about.
on.
Right, I gotta say, not on Instagram. Like, we gotta clarify that. It didn't take us an hour and 40 minutes to get on Instagram. We started off with StreamYard and we was on there for a little while. Then we was like, all right, maybe StreamYard might not work. Let's go to YouTube and see if we can do YouTube. I'm not used to YouTube. I thought, let's try YouTube. I didn't realize YouTube wasn't like the other platforms. So you can't add people on YouTube. You either gonna be
Right,
sitting together or it's gonna be you by yourself. All right. Two platforms down. Let's go. Let's keep on moving. Let's go ahead and try
exactly.
Zoom. Get
Right.
on
Think
Zoom.
that's mm,
Yeah, Zoom wasn't having it either. I'm like, what is happening here? Why can we not get on here? We're just trying to chat and have a conversation. The enemy was like,
right.
nope, nope, you ain't
Right.
talking. I don't know what you got. I already know what you're gonna say, and I already know who gonna hear it. Therefore, you can't say it. So then I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get on Instagram Live because then we're gonna get off the laptops and we get to get on the phones. Now, if our phone sound don't work, it's really something, right?
Right. Right. I'm gonna have to
Seriously,
get in the car and go to Florida. Like
and be like,
we
we
gonna
doing this live,
yeah, yeah,
but
exactly.
first off, thank you everyone for listening, for joining us. I'm so grateful to be able to be here. We just got right into it. We didn't get to really even get to introduce ourselves, but if you want my live, then this is me. My name is Amber Nicole. I am a confidence and relationship coach, and I am here to just empower all women to have the most confidence in themselves that they possibly can, and just to walk in their spirits. Because when you walk in spirits, the Lord shows you and aligns you in a way that you can't do by yourself, but that takes confidence to even make that decision. And I have my lovely co host here with me. I'll let her go ahead and introduce herself.
Hey y'all, I'm V Camille. I'm a creativepreneur achieving my best life one dream at a time.
Damn. And she said it, one dream at a time. So
Oh,
like we said, we have no idea what we're gonna talk about. I don't know. We just doing the podcast. We just on here having a conversation. We talking every week. We had our last podcast. So for those of you that don't know, I guess we might as well say this too. We have a podcast. Our podcast is called Speaking in the Spirit. It's on all platforms. Go ahead and find us. We just started. Is this week 3, right?
yes, week
Okay.
3.
So this is week 3. So we have the other 2 podcasts. You guys go ahead and listen to the past 2 podcasts, or you can go ahead and watch it on YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel as well. Um, what is my YouTube channel? My name, Amber Nicole.
Yes.
I'm not up there yet to be able to,
Oh
you know how
Lord.
like you can just
Not no
give certain stuff.
connectivity issues.
I could, for me, because
Okay,
I could hear and see
it's
you
coming
fine.
in and out. Okay, cool.
We good?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. So guys, go ahead and watch the podcast. Listen to the podcast if you're driving. Watch the podcast on YouTube. Um, and get into this. Like I said, it's called Speaking in the Spirit. So first off, I guess since Thanksgiving just passed on Thursday, then let's ask like, how was your Thanksgiving, girl?
My Thanksgiving was great. It was not a traditional one. We basically made like steak and um red snapper, and that was real good. Like it turned out to be a really good time just because, like, this whole year for me has been really strenuous, so we needed a change, and so it was really good to not have to be stressed out in the kitchen, and you could just enjoy
Mm,
the day from morning to evening. So it was
mm-hmm.
really, really good. How about yours?
Uh, it wasn't as great actually. For me, it wasn't. For me, it's I guess because normally I'm used to being around my family in Georgia, and I'm used to being able to, like, my aunt waking me up listening to music, she cooking, and like that whole vibe. And so I was not able to go down to Georgia this week like I normally do. So that was a shift for me. Like, I can't be around my family, and as you know, like in Florida, I really don't have much family, so it's like I can't be with my
Yeah.
family. I don't really have much family, and holidays are supposed to be family time. It's a time that we busy all year
Right.
long, but we get to the family, we get to the holidays, and it's like, okay, now we get to see each other. Now we actually gonna make time for each other, and I didn't have that opportunity. And then obviously, so that was
Mm.
difficult for me. And then so a lot of the day it was really just me and my son. I did cook though. I cooked, so that was good.
Okay, how
And I
did that
cooked
go?
it went good. The one the thing I liked about it most is that I've had everything all planned out. Because usually when I cook, I be exactly like you said. I be in the kitchen all day long. But I told myself, like,
Mm.
I'm not doing that. So I prepped and cooked some things on Wednesday. So when
Mm.
Thursday came, I didn't have that. I had some stuff to cook, but it wasn't that much. Usually I don't do that.
Yeah.
Usually I don't start. Usually I would just wake up early in the morning Thursday morning and then just cook, all throughout the day. But I decided I'm not gonna do that this time. Even though it's like just me and my son here or whatever, it's still Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna stop the whole tradition. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna
Right.
cook.
Right.
So yeah, I still did cook. And then obviously, it was the first holiday I had to spend without my mom being here. So that made it I struggled a lot throughout the day, just
Yeah.
being in my feelings. And it honestly made me more empathetic towards people who always say, like, for those of you that lost a parent, the holidays are hard for people who lost parents. And
For sure.
while I was always very empathetic towards that, I never knew I couldn't what's the word? I didn't know what they were going through because it's something I never experienced.
Right.
So now, since Thanksgiving, this is the first time I spent the time without my mom, since she passed in May. I'm like, wow, I see what they mean, how it's hard being in the holidays when you've lost a parent, because I'm sitting here sad, like, and not only that, not being around no family. It would be one thing if I lost her and I at least could be around family to kind of help me
Yeah.
out of that, but have to sit in my own feelings and
Mm.
literally just deal with it. Oh, that was tough. And
Yeah.
I tried to like power through it for my son, because I'm like, well, I don't want to make the day all sad for him. I'm sitting here crying and stuff, because it's supposed to be a joyous day. He all excited about the food and can't wait for it to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Crying into
So,
it, like.
right. but
Oh.
yeah, but the not crazy, but the good part about it is the fact that after I got done cooking, my son was like, "Dang, mom, this food is so good." He's like, "I think you outdid yourself." Ooh,
Oh, thank
did
you.
I,
Thank you.
son? Did I? And so I was
Yeah.
talking to my friend. I told her that, and she said some emotion for me that I didn't never thought about. She was like, "You was cooking with emotion." I was like, "Oh,
Mm.
that's so good." That is what I was doing. I was cooking with emotion. I wasn't just making Thanksgiving dinner. I was making Thanksgiving dinner as if I was channeling my mom, like how she would make Thanksgiving dinner, because I was always in the kitchen with her when she was cooking, which is why I know how to cook, because I've always watched her and always helped her. So
Hmm.
it was like me and her together still cooking. And so when it came out, he was like, "Mom, you outdid yourself." Okay, well then the food came out amazing. And
Yes.
so it was a struggle for me, but at the end of the day, I got through it. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I cried and did whatever I needed to do. So for all those who've lost a parent, I feel your pain. I feel your pain having to deal with being the holidays and not having your parents around. My grandparents had died and passed away in 2018, both of them, my grandma and my grandpa on my mom's side. And so I didn't even know what she had to deal with not having them. You know what I'm saying? So now
Yeah.
I'm even experiencing her emotion. While I felt sad, but they were my grandparents, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not my
Right.
mom, and not my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't around, kind of. But So yeah, I just sympathize and empathize with all you guys who are struggling during this time, and just know that I'm really praying for you, because I feel your pain and I'm going through the same thing. But we got to trust that God is there with us at all times. Like, I had to pray, God, give me the strength to get through this day, because I don't know how. And it's like no one knew what to say to me. So it's crazy, because when someone don't know what to say to you, they just don't say nothing at all. And the not
Oh,
saying nothing at all is more hurtful than if you just said
right.
something.
I
But
know.
it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to mention it because I don't know if she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
because
don't want to
that.
mention it because so if I just don't say nothing, and here I am sitting there like,
Oh,
you can just ask me, how are you doing today? I know this is the first time you had to deal with your mom not being here for the holiday. How is that working for you? You know what I'm saying? Are you all right?
yeah,
You good? You know what I mean? I'm just checking on you. I just want you to know, nope. I didn't
yeah,
get that.
yeah. Oh, can't remember if I said how are you, but I know I was like, okay, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm like, okay, if she wants to like hit me up, she'll, because I knew you were cooking too. So I'm like, she probably busy, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll just wait. You know, I'll see how everything is going. But next time, you know, Christmas coming up, your birthday's coming up, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, what's going
Yeah.
on? I know I just talked yesterday, but what's going
You good today? Is you
on?
good?
Right,
But
right.
then I talked to another woman. She was telling me how, like, then what? Because I had posted it on Facebook, because I was saying how, like, God give me strength, because
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was going to be coming up against. And honestly, I was good on Wednesday, but when it was going into Thursday, like that late night, I could feel myself starting to get sad. And I was like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
expect it. I didn't expect
Really?
it.
Yeah.
And then when I
I,
was in my feelings, I'm like, am I supposed to stay here and feel this? Or am I supposed to like power through it and get up and be happy? Like, I didn't know what to do.
girl, feel those feelings. That's what I'm feeling. Feel those feelings because it hasn't even been a year. Let
Right.
yourself grieve, you know, let you, you know, do what you did with the cooking. Honor your mother that way. You know, find different ways to, you know, feel it, but don't wallow. That's where you'll
Correct.
start powering through it because sorry, I should put do not disturb, but um like once you start wallowing, then that's when you're like, okay, this is all that I'm in. You remove yourself from the power of now, you know. So I feel like if you want to cry, let those tears fall, you know. If
Yeah.
you're like, you know what's my son doing, let me try to do something for him, you can do that too because you still mommy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're still you know, supposed to show him what traditions are and whether or not they're going to be the same throughout the years or different thing, adding new things to do, whether it's new menu like we did or, you know, games and or going out. Some people go to restaurants for Thanksgiving, you know, just like certain things,
Right.
switching it up. But if you need time for you, I say take it.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's
I
my
did
take.
sit in the room for a little bit. Yeah. I sat in the room for a couple minutes, and then I was like, all right, like I gave myself a little bit of time. I'm like, okay. And then especially since the food got done early, I was done cooking like at 2. So after we ate, it was like, all right, so what do I do now with the rest of the day? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do now? But luckily a friend that I have here, he ended up inviting me over. They were having like a friendsgiving over there or whatever.
Oh,
Other people
nice.
that don't really have like a lot of family, I guess, here. And so
Hmm.
he invited me over, and they were doing like games and stuff, and they had cooked and they had already eaten everywhere. So like in the evening time, I went over there, and me and JR, we played some games. So it ended pretty good. It didn't, it ended pretty well. So that middle section of the day, it was like, ugh, can someone call me and
Hmm.
hold me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can someone console me right now?
Oh,
Like that was the moment I was in.
yeah.
Like, can someone just check on me and say, how are you doing? Can no, okay. I know you guys are all with your family and doing stuff. I get it. It's understandable.
Oh. Now I gotta look. Like I swear I sent it. I'm like, because a lot of times I'm like, you know, I should text so and so, and then I forget, and I'm like, oh Lord. But you know, something a scripture that I came upon this week is James 1, 2, and 4. And it's kind of making me feel like I didn't want to bring it up for this. Like this, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but I felt like this is something we should talk about since we didn't have a topic this week. But
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, it's consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything. And I think that that fits really well at this point because um yes, yes, it's very sad, to be having a holiday without your mother. That, yes, I understand that. But when you said I got up and we went to the party and had played games with JR and your friend, like that just makes me really believe that you are following this and the scripture that I just said, and really, honing in on your relationship with the Lord, because without him you would probably have fallen into that wallowing state. Like you said, no one checked in on you. Like that is very hard. It's hard to go through a lot, like the holidays alone. It's hard to go through grieving alone. It's hard to save face for your kid, but yet you
Right.
you made it through. The test of your faith, because you could have been like, well, we're not gonna have fun there and not go.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Yeah.
like really proud of you, and I'm sad that I wasn't there.
Oh, it's
But
okay.
we're here now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. He's tired of hearing from me. But yeah, when I read that this week, I was just like, this is really powerful.
Yeah, it's true. It is a test because I did I got up and I did what I was supposed to do. So I didn't just what's the word? I didn't just push through. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't just push my feelings down and not cry and act like it's not happening. I'm gonna be okay. And I didn't do that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to my room. I'm gonna shut the door and I'm gonna cry. Get it out. And I'm gonna lay here for a couple of minutes and I'm gonna give myself this moment right now and just feel the feelings and not force them down. No, if this is how I'm feeling, I'm gonna let it up. So I let the feelings flow. I cried a little bit and then I was like, all right, I've had my moment. I'm good. Like, I'll be okay. Like, I'll get there. Got up, turned some music on, like got dressed, did my hair and all that, got cute and everything else, and went on about my day. I didn't suppress. I let it come up. I let it out because that's what it is. Like, that's how you heal. You heal by allowing your emotions, by allowing whatever you're feeling to come through, not suppressing it, not leaving it down, but letting it go. Whatever it is, whether it's anger,
Right,
frustration, sadness, healing means I'm letting this come up. I'm acknowledging that I'm in this moment, but I'm not going to
right,
stay here. I trust that I'm going to get out of this. So correct.
right.
That was a good scripture.
Yeah, and it reminds me of Pastor Keon. He did part 2 of The Power of Now, and he was saying people that, only speak of, their glory days or speak of yesterday, like they're not living in the now. They're replaying it over and over and over in their minds, because that's when everything was, a-okay, or they felt like they were the on top of the world or something like that. And it makes me also think of, you know like you said, suppressing feelings and such by, thinking of all of the past while you're in your present, is now
Mm-hmm.
erasing that memory and replacing it with things that you've already lived through. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's why when people ask me certain things, like, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember that? And I'm like, no, I don't, because I wasn't in the present. I was thinking about things in the past, like whether it was like good, bad, all of the above, especially shoulda, coulda, woulda. Those are always in the front of my mind, and I'm working on that. But I just find that very interesting that, as we're on our journey with the Lord, that we're having to be in the present. And if we need to cry, cry, you know, give it up to the Lord, whatever it is, whether it's something good, whether it's something bad, give it up to the Lord. And I feel like that is what you did. And I think that's why, it turned around. And it's not going to get easier. I've heard it before that people who lose their parents, when the holidays come up, or just in general, when they think about their parents, it just doesn't get any easier. So I think you're taking the right steps to, you know, learn what your new reality is,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right. And I did have a friend that commented on there. She was like, it's been 11 years since she had lost her parents, and she said every time around the holiday she goes through the same thing. So yeah, she can contest to that 11 years ago. Like, and I feel like that's life in general when we go through trials. Like, it doesn't get easier. People always think that it gets easier. No, you just get stronger and learn how to manage it better. And I don't mean suppress and act like it's not happening. No, you have this newfound strength that God is giving you through each trial that you go through. You get tougher and tougher and tougher, not so tough that you can't feel emotion. No, it's more like I acknowledge what's
Right.
happening right now, but I know that I can get through it. I know that God's here with me. I know I can give this to Him. So when you're going through whatever my sadness, it's like, okay, I'm here, but I know I can get through it. I know that God's with me. I know that everything's happening for a reason. I know she's in a better place. I know she's smiling down and in the spirit and in heaven and singing and doing all the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? And she wouldn't want me to sit and be sad and crying. So I'm going to honor her because I know, you know what I mean? I'm going to honor her and I'm going to cry, but I'm going to keep on moving. I'm going to enjoy the day because I know how much she loved the holidays as well. And I love the holidays. The holiday times is usually like the best times for me. A lot of times people, they go through holiday times when they go through trials, losing a parent or family, you know what I mean? They don't like holidays no more because it brings up those sad emotions. But I choose not to let that happen to me. I choose to continue to honor my mom and, excuse me, honor my mom and continue to enjoy the holidays and not let what's happening or not let that situation, well, her passing, to keep me from still feeling joy. It's like
Right.
finding beauty in the storm.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it goes back to our topic of last week about guarding your heart, like um, you mentioned how you're not trying to build up walls or lock up your heart. Like you're still trying to use it and be present in your current family and situation, but guarding your heart, knowing that your mother loves you, loves the holidays, like like thinking on all of the good times that you had with her, and it's um hopefully something that you can now pass on to JR too, pass on to your children, that same good warm feeling around the
Yeah,
holidays, like
yes, same joy.
that that yeah, exactly. That's something that she instilled into you, and that is amazing to continue to pass on to JR, because obviously he tasted it in that food. He tasted it. He's
Yes.
like, Grandma was in there. Grandma was
You
stirring.
outdid yourself with this. Lord, this is good. I need another plate. What is
Mhm.
this?
Right, because obviously you ain't cooking like that. No, no, Monday through the Friday.
I'm definitely not. We're usually eating real healthy around here.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was happy to
So,
have some unhealthy food. Comfort food.
mhm. Right, exactly. On his holiday break, I hear that. But
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I'm so glad that we're having this time, because not being able to practice, like, oh, what are we gonna talk about? Like, I was like, girl, I just need a heart to heart. Like, I felt like because of Thanksgiving, like we're just supposed to, be one on one and just, you know, let the Lord move us and not worry about what bozo to
What's the
Boaz is
next
going to be
topic?
this
Yes.
week.
Okay. Okay, what's the next segment? Okay, this part of the segment. Okay, this part of the segment. Okay, this. No, it's really just let's just free flow and say whatever it is that needs to be said. Yeah, that's true. Hmm.
Yes, yes. Sorry about my internet. It keeps going in and out. But yes, and one thing that I was actually struggling with was coming up with what I wanted to say for the praise report. I was just like, I've been going, this past week has been a bit of a struggle for me. I must admit, work, I'm actually not going to have to talk on that right now because I'm not going to just keep that hush. But it was stressing me out. Like I was starting to feel ill and I couldn't call out because my team was going to be really small. And I'm like, okay, I can't, just leave them hanging. So I stayed, excuse me, I stayed on and like I was powering through it. And just towards the end, I was like, I just need a break. I just want a break. And so I'm just like, well, do all things unto the Lord, do all things as if unto the Lord. And I'm like, I may just want to call out.
I don't want to be there.
Exactly, exactly. I just kept pushing. And when we were like, we don't have our outline yet, I'm like, we just gonna keep pushing, keep pushing. Like, at the end of the day, whether or not we know this is our assignment, right? We know this is what the Lord has called us to do. Because if it wasn't, this would be smooth sailing every time we get on.
Lord, exactly.
Ever.
I was actually gonna say that to you a little bit ago. You pretty much took that out of my mouth. I was gonna be like, the enemy obviously knows that there's something that we're saying that somebody else needs to hear because the enemy ain't attacking the people that ain't doing nothing for nobody else. That's why some people think that other people's lives are so much harder. No, it's not that my life is harder. It's just that I got a lot aligned that I got aligned within me. I got a lot of souls to save. How about that? I'm claiming it. I got a lot of souls that I need to save. I got a lot of people that's connected to me that I need to speak to help them to find themselves, and turn their lives over to God again. And for that very reason, the enemy going to keep attacking me because it's easy when he keeps them in the space where they're sad and they're lonely and they're depressed, don't have any worthiness in domestic violence relationships or other toxic
Right.
relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need you to say, I don't want y'all talking. I don't want y'all to get on there and start saying, you struggling. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Oh,
Amber
yeah.
struggles too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to get on there talk about how you're struggling. I want you to get on there. Actually, don't get on there at all. Let me make it hard. So then you're like, you know what? Never mind. Let's just do it another time. So then when we do it again, it's gonna be a different
That
topic.
part.
You're not gonna be thinking about Thanksgiving no more. Now it's gonna be like, girl,
Mhm.
you started your Christmas shopping yet? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be the moment that I was in over there. So we had to get on here today so that we can go through that because somebody needs to hear what we are saying, what we're talking about.
Right, right. And like, I feel like I'll tell you about my struggles all the time. And now I'm like, okay, I feel like we're on a mission, like we're on a mission to, well, I'll say this for me only because I don't know all about you. But like, I'm over here trying to just reset who I am supposed to be in the Lord, like, everything that I've done up until I'll say May of this year has been what Valencia wants to do. Um,
Mm.
it's been in Valencia's power. And I'm like, nope, I'm not living the rest of my life like that. I'm like, I tried it, Lord. I gave it 28 something years, I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I finally learned to give it back to you, Lord. And I'm like, I'm here now, I don't know if y'all saw our other episodes, but I was telling Amber I'm letting go of my life. I got one hand left on it. So now I'm like, okay. He's like, come on now. Come on now.
Oh my
but
God.
uh, but it's just like I've enjoyed the journey. I was listening to someone, I need to be writing down who I'm listening to at the time, but they're saying like, the journey, you can tell that you're like following the Lord because you'll start to love the journey. You'll start to enjoy it. And I'm like, I'm
Ooh,
there. I'm like, some things, Lord, we're gonna have
yes.
to revisit it. We're gonna have to
Recalibrate.
reconvene about this. Exactly. Because your girl can't find no joy in that right now. But it's coming. It is coming. Like the first episode, we talked about how I couldn't find the joy in being celibate. Lord,
Hmm.
excuse me. What is this desire, Lord? Why do I have desire? Where's the joy if I don't have a husband to enjoy with?
You made this.
Make it make sense. But the joy is being more intimate with the Lord, growing that relationship with the Lord, filling yourself of that need with the Lord, not even a need, that want with the Lord. And it's
Yeah.
it's it's been, I'll say, what is the word? It's something I haven't experienced very much because I don't have the word for it. But it's
Yeah.
it's peaceful. That's what I feel. An exhilarating peace, if you will.
That's good.
And I'm like, okay, I'm over here. I'm trying to ask and knock so I can find anything that. Let me see. What is that one? Asking you shall receive, knocking it will be
Hmm.
open unto you. Something like that. I'm like, Lord, hello, it's me. Pass me not, please, Lord. But it's just, it's it's been amazing. Like, how I tell you how the Lord is like showing all these different confirmations. And today, or actually, I had a dream earlier this week about my ex. And I was like,
Mm.
Lord, excuse me, what are these feelings that I'm feeling? Because I don't want that. I cut it off. Like, Lord,
Right.
please reveal to me. And basically, it's soul ties. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I thought I had healed from them because of, it's been umpteen years. And okay, not umpteen years, but
It ain't been that long.
well, it's been a little bit. And I'm just like, okay, I thought I did because, I don't even think about that person no more. But then, how we were talking last week, and you're like, I think you still have something in there. And I'm like, no, but I did. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, like, please take it from me because I'm like, I thought we handled this. I thought, we got rid of them altogether. And
Right.
that is, well, obviously not. And so I'm watching the relationship goals reloaded. If anybody watches it, you understand what that means. But
Yeah. I watched that and I got the book. I got the audio book.
oh, good. I need to read it and then we can talk about it.
Hmm.
But the episode of today was Soul Ties. And
So
I
it
was
helps
like,
you give you the revelation
okay,
that you
Lord.
needed to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because I just realized, like, oh, it's Soul Ties yesterday. And I'm like, okay, this is I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on.
Mm.
And it's just like my prayers are being heard. Like a lot of the times it's like, can I hear God? I watch so many YouTube videos and try to, read the plans of hearing God. And it's like, well, not, I guess the hard thing about really letting go is, does he hear me? You know,
Oh,
do you
I
believe
just,
that he's hearing you?
oh man, I just listened to about that today. You finished talking. I'll talk what I heard about it today though.
Oh, okay. So, like, it's supposed to be a dialogue. It's supposed to be, a relationship takes two. And, you know, t- if you are actually being active in that relationship, you'll see that he is hearing you. So that's like making me understand that he definitely loves me and he's definitely working on my behalf. I have to be patient in some things, but other things it's immediate. Like a lot of in the Bible, it's talking about immediately. And I'm like, Lord, where's my
Immediately
immediately?
is 0 to 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so I'm really just seeing how the relationship is flourishing and trying. Sorry, I have all these notifications all of a sudden. Um, but like trying to just see how that relationship flourishes and really taking the time to step away and pray. Like you're saying, I'm sure you were meditating and praying the time that you stepped away from your family. And it's that time with him is just so much when you do more than just, I'm gonna read one verse a day or a chapter a day or you know a sermon a day. Like it gets really intense as you spend more time and show him I'm serious. Like this is something that I need you to get through my day. you know
Yes,
like
yes.
that's like a new
New level of intimacy and relationship right there when I need you.
yeah. Yeah, without him, it's like I get like panicky. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, where are you, Lord? Like when Michael Todd or Pastor Michael Todd, see, I did it again. He was like, I'm going where the Lord is. And I'm like, oh Lord, I need to find where you are. Because if you're not in this, my whole spirit, my everything is just not how it should be. And yes. So go ahead. I'm gonna just ramble. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, when you said that was everything you said was so good, but when you said how you want to know, Lord, do you hear me? Are you listening to me? And if you hear me, I need you to respond because am I doing this right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? And it's like God sends you signs. It's more so, are you listening and watching? Because it comes through everything. It comes through a book you're reading, a person you're talking to, a child. Oh,
Mhm.
I got to say this really, really quick. I'm sorry because it just came to my mind when I said that. When I said that no one reached out to me about my mom, no one reached out to me about my mom, but Chris's daughter sent me a message. She was like, "Hi, stepmommy," and I was like, "Hi." She was like, "I just want you to know that I really, really love you, and I can't wait to spend more time with you, and I'm so grateful that you're a part of my life." I was like,
Aw.
what?
Ooh.
Oh, she had sent me a text message, and I was like, I started crying because I was already emotional. So I'm like, you trying to make me cry? She done took me over. Like I'm sitting in the kitchen, like
Oh,
trying. Now was that when I was trying not to cry because someone walking here, like, what you crying for? Oh, this message Nigel just sent me. But
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah. So that was so cute. I love that. She did make me smile. Yeah, so God sends you messages in either a lot of different ways. It's more like, are you listening? So like when we talked about how I kept saying that I always see 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 often. I'll look at the clock like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, call it again. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll call it again. Like I kept seeing it, but I never even thought about it.
Wait, James 1, chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
See,
What the heck?
see. See, I'm like,
Okay.
I keep seeing. I'm like, why do I keep? And then it wasn't until that day when I seen it. I was up at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon, and I was up at 1, 2, 3, 4 at midnight. And so because I seen it twice that day, that's the only reason why I was like, huh. I took notice. I didn't take notice before. I've been seeing that number for a couple months. And I've been
Yeah.
asking God, am I doing the right thing? God, can I just hear you? Am I going in the right direction? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing the coaching. I got workbooks. I got the t-shirts. Like I got the digital courses. Am I doing what I'm on stages. I'm doing virtual events. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Can you tell me? He's sending 1, 2, 3, 4. I ain't paying no attention to 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
He said, "Open your eyes."
He's like, I've been trying to send it to you. You're just not listening. Dang, what do I need to do? Fine, let me send it to you twice.
He said, "Here you
So,
go. Here you go."
but yes. So then I'm looking up. I'm like, let me look it up and see what because I didn't think 1, 2, 3, 4 meant nothing. Like that's just it's
Yeah,
just 1, 2, 3, 4. What is so I'm like, let me just look it up. So
exactly.
then when I looked up angel number 1, 2, 3, 4, and it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 means that you're about to come into something. It means you're in alignment. It means you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It means get ready because it's about to happen. I'm like,
Mm,
Lord, I've been seeing this for so long, and you've been giving me the confirmation, and I just not have not been paying any attention at all.
mm.
Another thing is like for the last year, I guess I've been saying, like I remember having a conversation with Chris where I was like, I could feel something big about to happen. I can't tell you what it is because I don't know. I can't even tell you when it's going to be. It could be tomorrow. It could be a year from now. It could be 2 years from now. I have no idea. But it's just like this feeling in my spirit that says you're about to birth something big. I can
All
just
right.
feel it. I just don't know what it is and when it's going to happen. So then when I read 1, 2, 3, 4 angel numbers, meaning you're about to birth something, you're about to do it really soon. You're in alignment. Just keep on doing. It said keep on doing what you're doing. It also said that keep doing what you're doing. I'm like confirmation. I've been feeling like I
Yeah.
was going to be coming into something. I didn't know what it was. So when that happens, guys on live, I'm gonna come back on here and let y'all know. Remember when I said that live that I'm about to birth something? Listen, I done birthed this. I'm doing here. I'm traveling the world. I'm all over here. I said it. I knew it was gonna happen. I felt it. So if you don't believe in God, oh, this should show it for you. This should prove it to you. I'm a living testimony of how God moves in your life. If you pay
Mm,
attention, if you have the courage enough to step out on faith and say, though he slayed me, yet I still trust him. Because it's hard. This life ain't easy, but being broke ain't easy. Going
that's
being
why.
in being in toxic relationships ain't easy. That's
Right.
difficult. I'm not even. It don't matter of fact. It don't even have to be toxic. Just settling for someone that you know you're not happy with. It could be a good person, but they not loving you the way that you need to be loved. That is still
Mm,
difficult to deal with because you know there's certain ways that you need to be loved, and this man just can't do it for you, or this woman just can't do it for you. But because she pretty, or because he cute, or because you at least got a man and you don't want to get out here in these streets again, you stay. And that's not
mm.
the way to do it because God wants you to live in total bliss. Do you know what bliss is? Bliss is peace, love, joy, happiness, abundance. All my needs are met. Anything's possible for me. Imagine being in that state a lot of the time. I'm not saying all the time because
Yeah.
everybody you're gonna go through hard times for the rest of your life. But imagine you being able to have that, to be able to have access to whatever you want, access
Mm,
to a loving, amazing husband that adores you and loves on you,
yeah.
access to riches and glory, milk and honey. That's what TD Jakes was listening to him today. Access to the milk and honey, right?
Oh, I hear it.
Imagine being able to have that. But you got to say yes. You got to say yes. And that's what I usually pray about when I'm in prayer time. I'm just like, Lord, I say yes. I don't know what I got to
Yeah.
do, but I say yes. I'll be a soldier and a spiritual warrior for you. I know that I could do it. You obviously assigned it to me. So I say yes. Your will be done. Have your way. Whatever it is, whatever it looks like, I say yes.
Yes, I'm here for all of that. And it's so funny that you say that because people who are joining us, Amber and I, once we met, even the time that we met, we were going through the same exact thing. Okay, it wasn't the same exact thing, but they were so similar that anytime that we go apart and come back together, we're going through the same thing. And I was telling my mother that I could feel like this time next year, I'm gonna be like, I can't believe how different our lives are. And there wasn't like a, an eeriness to it. It was more of just like, wow, God, thank you for this new life. Like, we were in my car, and for y'all that don't know, I don't have a car right now, okay? We were in my car, and I'm sitting there talking to her like, I can't believe how different our life is. Like, that's the vision that I had. And I literally just told her this. I told her the vision um like a month ago or so. And so it's just funny that we've never talked about this, but we're both like, we talk about, we feel that shift and that transition happening, but we never talked about
Right.
that we feel it for ourselves. And I think that's very
Right.
interesting. But like you said, like right now, I think if I wasn't having any kind of relationship with the Lord, like I wouldn't be feeling like that at all. I feel like I'd be like, oh my goodness, like there's nothing for me right now. Like I'd still be in the darkness. I wouldn't be so joyous of the future. Like I was there when you didn't have any of all of those extra things that you're just saying about,
Yeah.
your company and everything. And so in just those short few years, God has been moving in your life. And I'm just so excited to see where he's taking you. And I hope I can still be down for the ride.
Where he taking us? Where he taking us?
Yes, he's definitely taking us because like you said, you're a soldier. I feel like I'm supposed to be a beast in a way of like an eagle with wings,
Yeah.
or just some sort of like bird with wings. Like I feel like I'm not supposed to be running. I'm supposed to be flying. And so that's why I'm like, okay, Lord, we got a few more fingers to go before I'm flying. But I definitely feel that whole, I'm in the army. Wait, I'm on the battlefield for my Lord. Like that whole old hymnal that they used to sing, that you just like, okay, can we sing it this Sunday? But it is so true. And I'm just like, wow, um, like I never thought he would want me. He would want me in his army. And it's just like, well, not
Mm.
everybody has to be in the lines. Not everybody has to be in the tanks, like he'll use a rock. If ain't
Mhm.
nobody going how he'll use a rock. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I'm more than that rock, Lord. Please hear me when I say hallelujah.
Yes. Yes.
But like I'm definitely wanting more. I'm wanting those levels to everything. I'm wanting, well, once I brought up judgment last week, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. It got so much harder. But I'm like, it's something that I did, it's something that needed to change within me, because he changed what's within before he changes around. And
Right.
the funny thing, once you change what's within, what's around you, you'll see it in a different light to be able to move differently. Things
Yes,
like,
because your eyes will be different. You see from like more
yeah,
healed whole eyes, and you'll be able to have a more ability of discernment.
yes, and your mind won't be always on defense mode. I'm not, why am I mad that let's say someone wants me to wear pink on a day. Just that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of, you know, disputes and anger and, discord happens for really minute things, like minute
Mm-hmm.
topics. It's mostly coming down to communication and understanding. That's the main reasons. But because you're blindsided by being on defense, you can't resolve it. It's hard to resolve because you're like, well, you're not listening to me. I'm not listening to you. Da 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 da. Like it's just, it's so much that is, once you like take that step back and you're like, okay, Lord, have your way or will with my life today,
Mm.
and let me hold on to your unchanging hand today, right now. And what I love about Pastor Keon's Power of Now, and he's like, don't be in your mind when you're angry. And like if somebody's talking to you all kinds of sideways, go into your body because that's the temple. The temple, you have to readjust your breathing. You have to, if you're ready to be, ready to box,
Yeah.
it's body language. So you gotta, calm down. And what I gotta work on is my tone and delivery,
Oh,
child.
that's for
I'm
me
like,
too.
I
Cause
didn't
I
mean
get
it like, but it's coming out.
Ooh, did I just say that? Oh my God, I did not mean to say that.
I know. I'm
Ooh.
like, I did that, but not like. So I'm like, Lord, okay, there's still some things in. And I also complained to you about not having like my husband. Like, where's my helpmate? Lord, you said, you know, I will send your help, whenever you need it. And I'm like, Lord, I feel like I need help, Lord. And he's like, no, no, you do not. Not yet. Put the
Yeah.
hand down. And it makes sense because the reason why I had a dream about my ex is because I still felt betrayal. I felt like I was stabbed in my heart. And I'm like, okay, so I'm having this, internal injury and I'm, lashing out at people. Like, what is that? Why can't I have conversations with people in a way that, it's not cordial. That's not the word. It's just, cool, calm, and collected. Not everything has to be this grand, reality show, the
Right.
finale. Everybody's yelling and tossing and turning, whatever. But it's like there's still things that I need to work on within myself, and I feel like that consists of watering my yard.
Yeah. Some of what you're talking about, that you talked about a little bit ago is like how you are now and the power of now and things you see now and
Hmm.
how the vision is clearer now. It really has to do with how you are finally um you're finally becoming into God, who God is calling you to be. It's the becoming part of things.
Yeah.
It's not that you weren't always her. The problem with people is that they didn't realize that, like God said, before I knew you, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. So you was already spiritual. He already knew what you was gonna do. He was like, all right, I'm gonna send you down to your mom at this time. For me, okay, I'm gonna send you down to your mom on this time. And you're gonna be born on December 24th, 1984. I don't feel like it's a coincidence that I was born on Christmas Eve, the day before Christ was born. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about even
Yeah.
just my birthday and the day that I was born, while I don't like it very much for not having nothing to do with Christ, but you know what I'm saying? I get passed to the side with the rest of the dang holiday. Like God dang, you just overshadowing me. Like
Yep.
no,
Yeah.
but yes, I am. But yeah, so it's like, but still, I still enjoy. I still would not choose to be born another day. While I'm not the best at my birthday, I still like being born on Christmas Eve because it's like this is this is must be why I have so much on me, right? This must be why the burden is heavy for me because there's something big that's going to be birthed out of me, and maybe I'm here to save nations, and because I'm here to save nations, the enemy is going to be at attack at all times, and he's going to attack even harder when he can see that I'm not falling for it. So it was really not
Mhm.
that it was good for me because when I look back at how my life was before, I'm just like I was I felt like I was actually I know I was going through worse then, but I wasn't doing nothing, so it felt easy to me. I mean, I was broke, but it's like, okay, I've been broke my whole life. This ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like nothing. You know, I was good, but whatever. Now I'm in a better space, but my life is harder. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Like, but it's because the enemy continuously at attack of whatever what I have. So it's like that's why I'm always like, God, show me, show me me. Who am I meant to be? Because like I was saying before, a lot of people they don't know that everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a
Mm-hmm.
purpose. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a stripper right now, if you selling drugs, or if you prostituting, whatever the case may be, God still has a purpose for you. You know,
Yeah.
the problem is that you don't have anyone around you that's speaking life into you, that's telling you that. So all you know is unworthiness. All you know is I'm not good enough. You haven't heard that. You haven't heard what you need to hear this to sit in your spirit to be like, I don't want to do this no more. I deserve better. Even doing this, I'm unfulfilled. You know. So
Mm.
it's the knowing, the becoming that me and you are both in right now. It's the becoming where we're just like, I know it's coming. I can feel it, you know what I'm saying? And so how you were talking about a little while ago, how you find joy in it or how you need God, it's the same thing. Like I need you. And then I also find myself even getting more anxious sometimes, And it's like I've never experienced anxiety. Sometimes okay, scratch that. Only time I'll experience anxiety is when I was be like around my son's father because we were in an abusive relationship. So every time I have to deal with him, it was that anxiousness of what are you going to say now to try to bring me down that I'm going to have to ignore or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was more of that waiting. Like, I know you're going to
Yeah.
say something because you're ignorant. There's never not been a time I've talked to him on the phone ever in the history of ever that he has not said some ignorant something where I had to just hang up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So then I would be anxious. But outside of that, I didn't have to deal with anxiety. So recently I've been so anxious, like this anxiety, like what is this? What is this? Like why am I so anxious? Like calm down, calm down. And I have to, like you said, I have to go in my body and just sit and just breathe and like I gotta breathe this out because I don't know what's happening right now. I don't even know why I'm getting anxious because sometimes nothing would even be happening. I'll
Yeah.
just be walking around the house and all of a sudden this anxiousness starts coming along and then I get scared and like, oh, what is this? Not scared, but anxious. Like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel right. Like, so let me calm down and breathe and woosah. And like you said, just try to be in my now. Like nothing's happening right now. There's nothing going on in this moment. Like, calm down. You're good. I don't know what's going on, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yes, I totally get what you're saying. And you said something earlier about like how the devil like will come and like try to tempt you like even when you turn away from it and you're like, "You know what? Like let me just like try to tempt her even harder or give her
Yeah.
more to
Mhm.
struggle with."
More
And
to
I
have to
came
fight. Mhm.
across as a scripture earlier this week about it's James 4:7. It says, "Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you." And so I'm like, this is very powerful because of my whole celibacy journey. I'm trying to resist that whole thing, and he'll flee from you. And it's just so interesting that you know anytime that you feel anxious, you submit yourself to God. Anytime that you feel sad, submit yourself to God. Like literally any time, just submit yourself to God, and it you'll learn that by doing so, you start to delight in Him, and then like He'll give the desires of your heart. Like it's once, like you said, we align with what He has for us, it's definitely something that will take the time and the hard work to really get to. But once we're really just like, Lord, you have me, like the Jehovah Jireh song, every
Mm-hmm.
day, I've been playing every day, and I'm still just tears, snot, the whole ugly cry. But it's so, so powerful, and it just, that song definitely makes me feel closer to him. It makes
Yeah.
me feel closer to him. And I feel like the whole becoming aspect is huge. Like, yes, we're on our way to, fulfilling the dreams that God has given us, and the tasks and missions that He's asked us to complete and, put in the earth. But then it's also like, we talk about, I don't want to mess it up. Once we have it, I don't want to, you know, um, fumble it
Right.
by not remaining humble and other things. And so that just makes me think like, well, he's also helping us become the kind of women that will always give the glory to God, that will always turn it back to on him, saying Jesus did it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to wonder how, or if you wonder how I came from being broken and lost and, just in the dark. And I will say I was ignorant. That is something I will say. Please don't, don't think that my ignorance is, all gone, because there's some things that I'll be like, I don't know where that came from or why I even said that, but, you know, but you get what I'm saying? Like, becoming is,
I mean, ignorance just means you just
yeah.
don't know. Once you learn,
Mhm.
you do better.
Exactly. Exactly. And that his grace will also keep us, like, as long as our hearts don't harden and go away from what it is that the fruit of the spirit, basically, that, and we don't put anything above him, that his grace will always be there for us. And hopefully we're not always needing his grace.
I mean, I don't. The only reason why I don't know about that aspect of things is because we sin
Yeah,
every day, every
I
day.
know.
I mean,
And
even
it's
if it's a
not
little small
perfect.
sin, we still
Yeah,
sinning. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna always need grace. As sinners, we gonna need grace. But a little bit of what you're talking
that's
about, really, really quick about that I wanted to say with God is, um, it just came up to me. Is like, so when we're like wanting something so bad, like the desire. I want a husband. For me, I want more kids. You know what I'm saying? I want a house. I'm tired of this apartment. So it's like, what I want it now, though. You know what I'm saying? But God is very intentional about how He does things, and he literally gives it to us in his perfect timing. And he also gives it to us when we least expect it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't give it to you when you're like, okay, it's tomorrow. You know what I mean? Now we can speak that, because I still speak that. God, I want it now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wait until I'm 50 years old to finally do this. I don't want to wait until I want it now. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that I'm going to be angry that I'm not getting it now. I'm just speaking the power of now, that being in my life now over my life. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. But God is very intentional about how he moves, and he knows the posture that we need to be in to bring in those things. So just like how you were saying with your ex, how you still had like some resentment towards him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't your exact words, but that you still had a little bit of resentment towards him. Betrayal, that's what your words you used. And God knew that, right? He knows that you still have that. Now you're not going to be perfect, whole, and not ever be triggered with whoever your husband's going to be. He's still going to trigger you. It's just inevitable. You know what I mean? But once you get those triggers, that you just work through them as they come up. Oh, I'm feeling something. This must be from my past. Like, I thought I was over that, and then you just work on it. You know what I'm saying? But those things,
yeah.
there is still a level and a space that you have to be at for you to be able to have what you need, right? I still need to have everything in alignment before the house comes, because maybe the house comes. Who was I listening to? It might have been Pastor Keon too, that I was listening to. That a lot of times people get the stuff and then they stop praising,
Mm,
because the people that are in poverty or broke, or that's like really needing God, they pray heavy, right? oh, I need to, please God help me, get me out of this. Can you pay my rent? I'm about to be homeless. I don't know what to do. I promise I won't ever put. They pray hard. Then your rent get paid. How hard are you praying after that? Like, right? You know, or then you
Yeah.
get the house and you're not in the apartment no more. Are you still praying and meditating every day like you was before you got what I was going to give to you? So God want to make sure that He gets you into the posture that you need to be in to know, like you said, that He still gets the glory. I wouldn't have this house if it wasn't for you,
Right.
Lord. I prayed for this and you gave it to me, Lord. And as we're doing the podcast or I'm doing speaking engagements or whatever the case may be, I'm constantly speaking that over my life, over the things that He did for me. You know what I'm saying? We have
Hmm.
to, because at the end of the day, God gave you everything. Just like today I was watching the Zoom call for the sanctuary with Shannon Yvette, and she was talking about how they were talking about like money, how the people who are hoarders of money and don't tithe, how those usually be the ones that don't have as much money. You'll be broke because you're trying to hold on to the very thing that God will give you freely, but you can't give it freely. So why would I give to you freely if you can't give it to me? When I can bless you tenfold,
Right.
hundredfold, you know what I'm saying? But you won't give me 10, you won't tithe, whatever it is, you know what I mean? You won't give me nothing. Okay. Well, don't ask if you can't give because it's a relationship, right? We are in relationship. We give to each other. I give you my time. I give you my offering. You give me back abundant life. It's a
Hmm.
relationship. You give me peace. You give me joy. You give me purpose. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to be a giver, 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 and you give me nothing. Well, what type of
Right.
relationship is that? You just want God to give you all this stuff, and not that He needs it from you, but it says a lot about your heart when you're willing to give something. And
Hmm.
that's what He needs to be on, have a
And give
good
it to
heart
him
posture.
first. That's what I.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Internet keeps going in and out. Um, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, I've been for some reason a lot of tithing sermons have been coming across my YouTube feed, and so he's like, both the pastors, I can't remember their names, they're new to me, sorry, but they're like, give him the first of everything, not just giving
What you
him
got left?
some of it. Yeah, exactly. And so I was just like, oh, that's so interesting. And one guy, he showed like, okay, if you give him the first of this, then you have all of this for you. And I was just like, wow, like that is a great example and illustration because sometimes you struggle with it. You're like, Lord, but these bills, like I'm trying to be responsible here. And it's like, well, are you being responsible or are you being faithful? And I'm like, you
Ooh.
got me that one.
And you got to look
So
at money as a resource. That's what I left out. That money is supposed to be a resource. It's not supposed to be an end all be all. The problem is so many people glorify money and they idolize it. You're not supposed to idolize money because, of course, we need it, but it's a resource for you able to get whatever it is that you need to get, right? It's a
yeah,
resource. You need money to survive, but you should not be idolizing it. It should not be
right.
something that you hold so high on this pedestal.
Hmm.
Like how you hold a paper dollar, like how is that higher than God? Really?
Right.
Interesting. And you
Yeah.
can't say you don't have it because you standing in line to get Jordans, you at
Hmm.
concerts, you in the club, you getting those liquor bottles,
You getting that
you getting those
DoorDash.
clothes, you getting DoorDash,
Yeah.
you getting clothes, you going
Hmm.
shopping. So don't tell me you don't got money to tithe when you if you spending money on other things. You didn't need that shirt. You could have spent the $20 on that
Right.
shirt and tithe that $20. How
Hmm.
serious are you about being in a relationship with God? And how serious are you about Him coming in and giving you the life that you want? It's
Right.
it's reciprocity. Every relationship is
Hmm.
about reciprocity.
Right. And he'll also like, you know, when he sees what's in your heart, because he sees it all, he knows it all. Um, he'll also like highlight the areas that you need help with. So let's say you are a shopaholic. Like he'll say, "Oh, since you can't tithe to me, here is the area you need to work on, or this is what he'll show you your idols basically, and it's like, "Ooh, I don't want this like you said, inanimate object to take precedence over my living God, my
Right.
protect been here in and out. When my mother couldn't be there, or my dad couldn't be there, or my sister, anybody couldn't be there, he was always there. And so I just think that it's it's something that it does take becoming to really just learn that the relationship consists of tithing, prayer, worship, I think sacrifice, whether it's sacrificing
Fasting.
yeah, fasting, that's a really big one too. Um, because you'll start to change once you accept that you're like, oh, these are idols, because you could be in denial. You could be in denial
Oh,
all day
yes.
and
Yes.
never change because you're not being, the truth is not setting you free
Yes.
because you're
And it,
from it.
yes. And sometimes people will tell you about yourself and you get defensive when they tell the truth. Everything that you don't want to hear doesn't mean that it's not the truth. It just means you
Ex-
just don't want to listen to it. And if you're unwilling to listen to it and you rather hear a beautiful lie versus the ugly truth, well,
you're gonna stuck in a cycle. Like one things that I'm struggling with is, finances. And, like within the past week or two, I've been like, I really need to get my budget together. And I'm like, was that me? Did that come out of my mouth? Like, well, what is happening? Who is this person? Like you start to not even recognize yourself.
yes. Oh my God, let me say this really quick. So
Yeah.
I actually had that very thought where I was saying, what are my friends going to think about me now that our conversations have changed, right? Not that my
Mm,
friends aren't spiritual, but they aren't like on this journey and all this other stuff, which is fine because I love my friends. They're very good people. But I'm saying, what are they going to say to me when every time we have a conversation now, I'm talking about God and how God is changing my life and how I'm shifting. Like these are new conversations that I've never had with them before. So I'm like, what do they think about me? I can ask them. Like, I mean, everybody been friends or been friends forever, but I can ask them, like, what do you think about me now that I'm having these new conversations with you that I've never had before? Because I'm thinking to myself, like, I really am changing. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm not the same person I used to be. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the woman that I'm becoming because I fought hard to be where I am today. And it's a constant fight to be who I am today because I got so much in me and I literally want to save the world. Like for me, it's like if I can be a world saver and I can save the world and everybody can have confidence and everybody can live this abundant life and everybody can love each other, like you know what I'm saying?
oh
But at the same
yes.
time, I'm always holding people accountable too. So I'm not like the little frilly soft aspect of things. No, I'm more of the tougher role. You know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I take more of the tougher role. I'm not going to be soft on you. If you want this, that's why I'm a coach. Coaches ain't soft. You said you want this. Oh, we can get it. But how serious are you about it? Because I'm going to give you assignments and I'm going to help you get there. But you got to make sure that you're willing to put in the work because I put in the work. I put in the work. Man, it's hard. It's been hard. These last 5 years have been hard becoming the woman I am today. But I put in the work daily
Mm-hmm.
because I know that the women that I'm assigned to need me to be the best version of me. So I have
Mm,
to, as long as I'm the best version of me and I know how hard it is for me, oh, I'm pushing you too.
right.
I'll tell a client in a minute if they like I'm not here for your money. If they're not doing what I called them to do, I'll ask them, "Are you serious about this? Do you really want this?" Because I don't want to waste my time or waste your time. If you don't want to do it, then let's not talk and we'll come back. You know what I'm saying? And we'll realign whenever you're ready. I'm not just gonna cut them off. You know what I'm saying? But come back to me when you're ready. Because
Mm,
I can teach you everything, but I can't make you do it.
yeah.
I can't make you do the work, and you have to do the work. I can't do the work for you. I can teach you and guide you and hold you accountable and love on you and pour into you and virtually hug you. You know what I'm saying? For those that are in other states and stuff, and give you virtual hugs. But I can't do anything else outside of that. It's gonna be
Right.
hard, but I'm here with you, and we walking this out together.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be ugly because you're gonna be
Hmm.
like, "Am I really
Just the
like that?"
story of my life being a virtual assistant.
Oh, for some reason, my chat's not moving anymore, so I'm just going. You got to read them out to me.
Oh no, it's not.
But yes, mm-mm. But like, what is great about working on yourself is you see, I'm looking at the world with a broken lens, and
Hmm.
as you're working with the Lord, you see Him, you know, fix that lens. It's like,
Right.
like, oh, you'll still see, the broken pieces that used to be there, but now it's now one whole lens, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like this is why people couldn't stand me. this this
Was
is
he walking around with
why.
an attitude, sis? Oops.
I
Oh,
was
that was kind of mean.
I don't know what I was walking around like. It was almost like The Walking Dead, basically. It had
Hmm.
to be like that. For years I was broken, years, and you try to put that temporary band-aid on it, but it gets nasty and withers away. But like, actually facing your truths, whether it's good or bad,
Yes.
helped me so much. Like I was like crawling, I felt like, you know trying to start over just felt like it would never come for that's
Hmm.
but years down the line you're just like, wow, like I'm not who I used to be. Like that girl, like Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts is like, never forget that that girl is still in you, because you were her for a long time of your life. So
Right.
it's okay to be, moving on, but always, sometimes you got to praise from that broken place. Thank God that you're moved on, but never neglect that person, because, you could easily turn back into that person.
Yes, because you
Easy.
got it in you, like you just said.
Yes, and then it also helps with reaching out to other people, like being personable and saying like, well, we went through it. Like I don't know how much our becoming story is alike, because we've actually never talked about that. Like we know bits and pieces of it, but we don't know
Right.
like um but I feel like, combined combined we could really touch a lot of people. And like, I don't know, like you mentioned you had father issues, and I had mom issues. I yeah, we can talk about that another time. but
Hmm. Hmm.
but like, I feel like with both our perspectives of becoming, and we're on our way to being, it's just this really interesting journey that you transform before your own eyes. Like it's like working out. Like a friend of mine, she's like, my body is transforming before my own eyes. And I look at my relationship with God, and I'm like, my whole heart, my whole mind, things I used to talk about, I don't talk about anymore, because I'm like, what's the point? There's no point.
Right.
So sorry, I had to go on this tangent, but I'm coming back. But yes, like I definitely believe wholeheartedly that it takes that heart work.
Heart work. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Working on your heart. Working on, like you said a little bit ago, is seeing yourself, the good and the bad. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we only want to see, I'm right, I'm perfect, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's them. They did this. All they had to do was this. I didn't. If they didn't say this to me, I would have said this back. Why are they messing
Right.
with me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we always want to place blame on the other person, but it's not the other person. It's you. It's
Yeah.
you. It's you. No, regardless of what the other person did. I'm not saying the other person may not have done something, but still, how did you respond?
Right.
Did you respond with love? Did you walk away and leave it alone? Or did you feel like you had to defend yourself or snap back or get revenge or whatever the case may be? It takes becoming a new person and knowing that I got too much to lose, that I'm not going to give myself or stoop down to another level with anybody else ever again. I'm not going to settle for less in my life. When you become this person, you like, I'm bigger than this.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than this. I don't have time for this. I'm better than this. And I'm not going to sit around and like I said, stoop down to the level of other people. That's why it's so important to have a friend circle, to be around people, and or not even not even just around them, talking to them. Be able to have people that you talk to, because iron sharpens iron, right? I
Mm-hmm.
just think I said Pastor Todd not that long ago. What was I watching where he was talking about uh iron wood? You can't sharpen iron with wood. It won't get nowhere.
Right. It
Iron
does.
sharpens iron. Yeah, it dulls it. So you need to get with someone who is on your same path. Talk with someone who is doing what you're doing, same heart posture as you have. You know what I mean? But also someone that's strong enough to hold you accountable and tell you when you're wrong. Because I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't want to be around a bunch of yes people that's just agreeing with me. I need you to tell me if I could see it another way. I think it could be this way. Because there's a way that you can tell somebody they're wrong in a loving way.
Mm-hmm.
You can say that you're wrong, like I don't agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully, with that transformation, because you're no longer on defense, you'll be open to hearing the new perspective and learning, oh, it's not just my own way and thought process that is correct. There's way more outlooks on one certain topic that once it comes together, you'll see like the bigger picture. And then, you'll start to understand the importance of the Christ's body and why there's so many of us here, because we're all here for a specific purpose, that we all need each other at the end of the day. So
That's
I feel,
true.
yes, yes. And whew, if you're still in your selfish ways, you'll never see that.
That's right. All right. I think we've been on here longer than an hour, by the way.
Oh,
We got on
have
at
we?
6:40.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 7 for some reason, but well,
Was it?
thank you for still watching. We really appreciate it. It's kind of a little nerve-wracking, like actually seeing people tuned in. I'm like 3, 2, 1, 0, 2, 2. Oh, hello. I was getting a little backtracked.
But I know how
But
that goes. Like they only listen for a long, short amount of time.
yeah, yeah. But
This
we
is going to be
really,
on the podcast.
yes, Speaking in the Spirit podcast. Please listen in. This is our 3rd episode, so there's 2 more. I think we can like list the link somewhere, right? In the comments. Like the
I
links
should be
to
able
the
to put it on. Um. Yeah. I just don't know how to do that.
okay. And then
You
if
can
you,
go on my page and it'll be in the description. I'll put it on
yeah,
there.
all right. And that's hello, it's Amber Nicole. And I'm V Camille. Mine is VCam now. I'm so excited you guys are here. Please put in the comments whether you enjoyed our conversation, what parts really hit you and resonated with you, or you can send us questions to speakinginthespirit@gmail.com. We hope to do a question Q&A kind of video at least once a month. So if there's anything that you want us to talk about that we might have, said, but then we went off on different other, conversations, please let us know. Did you want to pray, Amber, or do you want me to pray?
Sure. I think I prayed last time. I'll let you take this.
Okay. So everyone bow your heads and close your eyes. Holy Spirit, connect me with Jesus. Jesus, connect me with God. God, please lead the Holy Spirit. Lord, thank you so much for today. You are amazing. You are majestic. You are holy. And we worship you. You are greater than any name that I could ever put to you. I am is who you are. And I just thank you for this relationship that you've given me between, Amber and I, and the people watching, Lord. We pray that as we lift your name up, that you will draw them into you, Lord. We thank you that we were able to find an avenue to put this podcast on, Lord, because you saw we were diligent. And please, please, please let this reach the people that you would have to hear it. Lord, please continue to watch over Amber as she, goes through life without her mother. Please fill her in whatever spots that are empty, Lord. Please watch out for her. Help her stay diligent in her everyday tasks that you have assigned to her, Lord. Please watch over for my family, God. I pray that you cover them and you help them throughout whatever their struggles are, Lord. I lift up everyone who I can't think to name right now, Lord, but you know my heart and you know who I'm talking about. Please watch out for everyone. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Right. That was good. So thank you for this conversation. It was much needed. And just like you said, I pray that it reaches the women and the men that need to hear it, because such a time as this is a time to tap into now and turn your life over to the Lord and make sure that you are not straddling the fence, but that you make a decision. Because if I don't feel nothing else, I definitely feel, and I know people say this all the time, that next year is going to be my year, but I truly feel like God's people, not just the world, I mean God's people, that in January 2022 is going to be our year, beginning of our year of supplication, of continuing to be able to prosper, and the shift that's actually coming. I feel like it, which is why I feel like he's the enemy is fighting us so hard, because he sees that December is right around the corner. 2022 is right there. So if I can fight them and make them turn over or harden their heart or have something happen that they lose faith a little bit, then they won't be able to tap into that thing that God is doing here on the earth. Because there's so many bad things going on right now. There's so much negativity going on right now. God is the one positive thing that you can turn to. God's the one thing that can help you. God's the one thing that can say, I got you. Cast your burdens onto me. I'll take care of you. But it's up to us, for you to be able to make the decision, because God does it on his own. He doesn't make you do anything. He's a gentleman. If you want to do it, you can, but you don't have to. But I choose God every day because I can see how he's changed and transitioned my life. And all you listening to this, you've heard some of the things that he's done for the both of us. So if you want to be a part of that, then you be a part of that. Also, like she said, send us an email if you need prayer. You can also send us an email to speakinginthespirit@gmail.com, so that we can pray for you. Whatever it is that you're struggling with and you need prayer, we'll pray for you right here online. We'll pray for you on the podcast, and help you in whatever it is that you need help with. So turn your life over to the Lord. Just say, God, have your way, Lord. Have your way. And say yes, whatever it looks like, because God is going to give you more than what you can ever imagine, as long as you say yes. So I continue to say yes. V continues to say yes. And I
Yes,
hope you
Lord.
continue to say yes. And we are going to tap out. Peace and prosperity to all of you who've listened to me. I hope that you receive the help that you need. And I hope the rest of the holiday season is amazing for you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.